hot. I don't know what happened to the air conditioning in the building. It was a long line, and I was waiting, and I was waiting, and a woman came out from behind the window, and she came along the line to find out why people were there, to see if there was a form that they just needed to pick up, and she was going to get them the form. And she walked along and talked to every single person in the line. Now, it didn't help me because I still needed to be in the line, but it shortened the line, and it really made me think they cared. They gave the sense of really caring about the fact that we were there. And so that really made a difference. You know, in filling out the form, you have 80% of it done of what you need, and let's talk about other options and plans. So just kind of thinking about what your job is and what you might be able to do to help. And then the final slide, here's some of the benefits, and you can certainly read those. Any questions as in closing?
Is empathy a learned emotion, or some people have more of it? And the reason why I asked, listening to the keynote speaker when it first started, and she was talking about, it was before her actually, they introduced her, where the person was there for a final but didn't know where they were going to live at. And I think some people lack empathy. You mentioned things add up to where they lose financial aid. We are in a crisis as far as our jobs, but we don't work in productivity, meaning our pay is not on how many students did you service today, how many phone calls did you answer today, whereas their livelihood sometimes is on being enrolled in that class, attending that class, staying in that class. And I think, and I listen to people without empathy, but it makes me wonder, is it a behavior that has to be learned, or is it empathy disintact because you haven't experienced that? Or, you know, because I've noticed people have a lack of it.
I think it's harder to be empathetic when you're stressed. I think some people have more empathy than others. Some people have the ability to connect to somebody else's experience and to, in a sense, put themselves in that person's shoes and understand what it might feel like for that person in that situation. I think some people have the ability to do that more than others. You know, there's personality types and all kinds of things around that. But even the most empathetic person, naturally empathetic person, is going to have a difficult time doing that when they're stressed. Because when you're stressed, your mind is going through all of those emotional things that we talked about. And empathy requires us to kind of, in a sense, put ourselves aside and connect with this person's angst and uncomfortableness and fear and anything else that, you know, they might be presenting. So I think that taking care of ourselves is a really important part of it, and not getting burned out, and taking walks and getting up and taking a walk and you know, whatever we need to do. I have a picture of my granddaughter on my desk. You know, it's calming to look at Hannah and think about her giggle, you know. So, you know, you just have to find little things that kind of help you. And, you know, I know in our office, we'll get up and take a walk. We're on the Pacific Coast campus, and I'll walk over to horticulture and listen to the water flowing and hear the chickens. You know, I mean, just finding what that is for you and others, and then supporting your coworker.